Hey guys, it's Abby. I am back with another video and I've been kind of AWOL, but as you can hear, I have been extremely sick. I had lost my voice for like a week and this is the best that I have sounded in a very long time, so I was like, okay, like everybody can deal with my stuffy soundiness and it'll be fine. I was just really sick. I have bronchitis, so it's fine. It's fine. We're all good. I get sick all the time, and so it's just like struggling to get through all that. Also, I'm like literally in the midst of finals right now, like in the middle of it, and I should probably be writing like the 3 essays I haven't written, but I haven't done that yet, so yeah, we'll see. We'll get to that eventually, you know? And so I'm just really excited for school to be over, and I'm just so tired of school. Like, it's ridiculous how tired of school I am. Anyways, this is my monthly wrap up, and this was the worst reading month ever. I barely read anything. I read one novel, listened to a memoir, and then read a graphic novel, and that is like nothing. And last month I read 10 books. Like, you guys remember, like you saw that. I had read so much. I guess I just like could not bounce back from that and just didn't read anything, and it was just a really hard month for me. And May is gonna be a good month, guys. It's fine. My birthday is in May. Everything's going to be wonderful, and April is over in a couple, like literally less than 24 hours, and April will be in the past, and I can just forget April ever happened because this month freaking sucked. So the first book that I read this month was Thanks for the Trouble by Tommy Wallach. Somebody corrected me in the comments and said it was Wallach. Wallach? I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't know how it was pronounced. I don't know, Wallach. Anyways, this was a pretty good book. I did a review on it, and I'll link that below if you want to hear my thoughts on it, because I had a lot of interesting things to say about it. I did really enjoy this. He is a really great newer author that I really enjoy reading, so I definitely suggest this book. It follows a teenage boy who does not speak ever since he got into an accident with his father, and he meets a girl in the hotel, and she's very interesting, and they form this relationship and go on some crazy adventures, and it's more interesting than it sounds. I definitely suggest watching the review because I talk a little bit more about the non-contemporary elements of this and then also the contemporary elements of it. So I think it is a very interesting read, and I'm glad I started off my month with it. The next one that I finished is the memoir that I read this month, and that was Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. As you guys have known, I have been listening to this for a really long time, but I've just been putting it down and picking it up and putting it down and picking it up. And I've just been, you know, I don't listen to audiobooks that much because I'm just not usually in scenarios where I am like, you know, a lot of people drive in the car and they listen to audiobooks or something like that, and I don't drive, and I've just been really busy, so there's just never a time where I can sit down and listen to a book, and at that point I might as well just read it and have it in my hands if I'm just going to be sitting in my room staring at a wall. So it took me a long time, but I finally finished it, and it was pretty good. I think I gave it 3 stars. I mean, it was good. There were some things that I felt like were really relevant and really interesting, and other things that I just didn't find very interesting about her life. And it was more just about living a year, or like not even a year. She lived a year saying yes to everything, and also saying yes to saying no, which is kind of interesting. And I feel like it was really inspiring and really interesting. But I also I don't know. I've been trying to get more into like more motivational memoirs, and I've read some other ones that I liked a lot more, so that's just not, wasn't my favorite, but I did really enjoy it. If you are looking for something interesting, or if you really like Shonda Rhimes, because she mentions a lot about her characters and stuff, and the characters she makes, because if you didn't know, she is the producer and screenwriter for How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, Grey's Anatomy, and then some other ones that like are not on the air anymore, but those are the biggest ones because, as you know, she's taking over like the TV empire or whatever. So it was actually pretty interesting. I enjoyed it. The graphic novel that I read this month was one that I just randomly picked up while I was at Barnes & Noble. I didn't know anything about it because usually when I read a graphic novel, it's one that I've heard about from other booktubers, just because I'm not a graphic novel person, so I kind of want to know about it before I get it. But I just kind of went to the section and was messing around and looking around, and I found Mercury by Hope Larson, and this was a really interesting graphic novel. I thought it was really cool, and I'm kind of picky about the art because I'm like, if sometimes they have like the coolest covers, and then you look at the art and you're like, that's not very good. And so I just really loved the art of this one. Basically, what it is about is it follows two different girls, one who is in like 1859 and then one who is in like 2010, like modern day times. And the white pages are the more modern ones, and then the black pages are the one from the 1800s. And it kind of how their lives connected, and because their ancestors and stuff like that, and there was like some magical elements to it, and it was pretty cool. I think this was technically magical realism, and like had ghosts, and it was interesting. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars, probably like 3.5 is where I would put it, because the ending was kind of weird and lackluster, but the whole story was really fun. This kind of got me out of my slump, because I've just been in like the worst reading slump of my entire life, and yeah, so this kind of got me out of it, and I really enjoyed it. I would read more from Hope Larson, I think I would, because this was a good graphic novel. And then just some extra tidbits of things that I was reading this month, just because I am in American Lit class, and so I do a lot of those readings, which is probably why I didn't do very much other reading. And so we read like this. There's this huge freaking textbook. Like, look at this sucker. It's humongous. And so this month I read The Slave Narrative of Frederick Douglass, and I've read that already, and I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite classics. I don't know why, but something about it is just so good, and when I read it in high school, I really, really enjoyed it. And reading it again, I enjoy it even more, getting to analyze it and stuff, and I really, really liked it. And then we read some other stuff that I was not that into. We read some Emerson, which I really enjoyed, and then what I really wanted to talk about, we read some Poe, just the classics. Then we read some Whitman, and then we read Emily Dickinson poems, which is just my like newfound love. And I've always liked Emily Dickinson's poems, but I've never like analyzed them to the degree that we have in this class, and I just absolutely love them, and I love her poems, and I highly suggest checking them out because they're just really good, and they're kind of morbid and dark, and she does a lot of dark and light and pain and death and all that kind of stuff, but I find it really, really beautifully written, and the sun just left, so I apologize. But yeah, so that is kind of what I've been mainly reading, is whatever the heck I read for this, because I have a final coming up, and we'll see how that one goes. So yeah, so that is my very, very short and tiny April wrap up. I'm really sorry it was so small, but it was just not a good month for me, and that's fine, because May is going to be awesome, because summer starts and I'm going to have so many books to read, and I don't quite start my summer classes until later in May, so I've just got a couple weeks where I'm just going to be working and then chilling at home, so that gives tons of reading time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.